Hello, hello, happy new moon in Sag. I don't know if it's just the nature of Sag, but there's a lot to like about this new moon. And I'm not just saying that. It's because Jupiter is always optimistic and positive. Jupiter does bring blessings and abundance and good fortune. But yeah, there's a lot to like about this new moon. It happens on the 12th of December at 3:31 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it happens at 20 degrees, which is related to the Scorpio degree in degree theory. If you go around the zodiac enough times, 20 degrees comes back to Scorpio. And Scorpio is related to things that we don't see, darkness, mysteries, the occult, really intense transformation. And with this new moon happening at the Scorpio degree, and with Sagittarius representing blind optimism, faith, gurus, spiritual beliefs, seeking the truth, this new moon is kind of like the seeding of blind faith and really reinvigorating our horizons. Another cool thing about this new moon is that it's trining the North Node in Aries. And so the North Node in Aries and the new moon in Sagittarius are very flowing and easy energies, and so both of them are in fire signs. And fire sign energies definitely want to create and manifest things into real life. Like, it's something that you can actually see and feel and touch. It's quite penetrating, I guess you could say. And oh yeah, I have all my big gold amethyst lazuli, lapis lazuli, all Jupiter related. Go big or go home, right? So yeah, this is a nice trine from the new moon to the North Node, and the North Node is our destiny point. It's the direction that we are moving in, and it's a big energy of growth. It's also a direction that we are not completely comfortable with. I mean, unless your natal North Node is in Aries as well. So this is a notable return for you, which it could feel like a lot is happening in your favor, uncomfortable. But as a collective, this is also something that is pushing us to our destiny. And so the North Node is like our North Star. And in the sign of Aries, it's speaking to like entrepreneurship, risk-taking, independence, and just going for it, like starting something new, starting a new adventure, a new business, a new relationship, whatever it might be. And so this is a super supportive new moon. The new moon is at 20 degrees. The North Node right now, as it stands at this moment, I think is at 23. But the North Node moves backwards, and so eventually the moon and the sun will meet, I think around 21 degrees. And so when they are at that degree, so 21 degrees would be a Sagittarius degree. That's like another emphasis on optimism, faith, being open to anything, just like having that adventurous spirit. And with this trine to the North Node, it's really letting us know that we can trust this energy. Like, whatever impulses or intuition that we have, it's to be trusted because it's guiding us toward our North Node. Another cool thing about this new moon is, so the new moon is in Sagittarius. That means the moon and the sun are both in Sagittarius. And the opposite sign of Sagittarius is Gemini, so there's always like a relationship between two opposite signs. And the ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter, which is in Taurus, an earth sign, and the ruler of Gemini is Mercury, which is in Capricorn, another earth sign. And they have been trining the past few days, and with Mercury about to retrograde, they will, and Jupiter is already retrograde, so it's stationed at 6 degrees at the moment. So they've already made one pass, so there's going to be 3 passes at this degree, around 5 degrees. And so we had the ruler of Sagittarius and the ruler of Gemini making 3 trines to each other over the next month or so, month and a half. And fun fact, Jupiter represents the third eye, and Mercury represents the throat chakra. And so, I mean, if we put those 2 together, we can get a lot of shit done. And these are in earth signs. Jupiter's in Taurus, who wants stability and wants to build foundations, is a money-focused sign, likes to make investments and make sure that there's stable foundation to build on. And Mercury is in Capricorn, another money-minded sign, and likes to build, likes to organize. And so Mercury in Capricorn and Jupiter in Taurus can get a lot of shit done. And so that's a super productive, super supportive aspect that we're going to be able to take advantage of, especially with Mercury retrograde. So despite the reputation that Mercury retrogrades have, this is actually a really beneficial event for us, and it's something for us to take advantage of, because that lets us review and revise and reflect on things that we have been working on. And with Mercury in Capricorn at the moment, it's going to also sextile Venus in Scorpio. So that's another creative opportunity to really kind of dial in what we really want, and get rid of anything that we don't. Anything that's not aligned with us falls away, and we have that Mercury and Capricorn to really be productive with our words and get rid of what no longer serves us. So that's with Mercury and Capricorn. So when Mercury retrogrades, it's going to retrograde all the way back into Sagittarius. And it retrogrades back into Sagittarius, oh gosh, when is that? I want to say the 20th of December. When it goes back into Sagittarius, it's going to be, it's not going to be trining Jupiter anymore, but it will be squaring Neptune and Pisces. And so this covers a lot of emotions. Jupiter is the ruler of both Sagittarius and Pisces, and so there's a lot of expansion. There's a lot of faith. There's a lot of unconditional optimism, trust. At the same time, with Neptune and Pisces, this can, with Mercury squaring Neptune, this can look like confusion. Details get lost. Keys get lost, because Mercury also rules transportation and vehicles. So keep your eyes on your keys and details, and just be mindful of those kind of mundane things. But at the same time, there can be a lot of imagination. So this is great for artists and creatives to really, put your visions out in the world. And you can, with a retrograde, you're able to refine your art or your writing or whatever it might be, several times before you submit it or before you launch or whatever it might be. Mid-January, or after the 20th of January, is when Mercury gets out of the shadow period, January 20th. And Mercury square Neptune, we can also relate that to what's going on out in the world. There was a breathwork workshop that I just had a couple hours ago with Ivan Ochoa and Alice the Tudor Witch. And it was awesome. Alice was going through the astrology, and Ivan mentioned Martin Luther King. And yeah, with everything going on in the world, it just kind of, made me realize that Martin Luther King was one of the first people to advocate for peaceful protest. And so if you think about Sagittarius energy, especially with the moon just coming off of a conjunction with Mars, that's optimistic dogma, or feeling very passionate and fiery about your beliefs. And with this square to Neptune in Pisces, Pisces is all about harmony and peace, and Neptune is unconditional love and acceptance. And so with this conversation between the two, like with Sagittarius planets, so the Sun, Moon, Mars, all in Sagittarius, squaring the Pisces planets, Saturn and Neptune, this made me think that, this is an opportunity for us to really build on what Martin Luther King had been advocating, which is peaceful protest. And so we don't have to be out there with weapons to prove a point. We can, that's exactly what the system wants us to do, is get riled up and become angry and use our energy to fuel whatever it is they're feeling, like fuel the fear that allows them to stay in control and have the power to control us, basically. And so the greatest power that we can harness is not allowing that. So if we stay in our emotions and not get pulled into whatever it is that they're feeding us, the lies, the propaganda, the horrible images. Media is a weapon. Like, they've definitely weaponized like all things digital, like there's a fine line right now, and there's going to be a shift with Pluto into Aquarius, which is like a whole nother topic to talk about. But it's using technology against us. Like, we have to kind of go back, like return to innocence in a way, and like go back to the simple times. We're reversing the reverse. We're reversing what has been reversed, and really coming into our own consciousness, instead of like taking what they're feeding us, instead of relying on information that's being fed to us. We are relying on ourselves, our own intuition. That's why it's really important to keep our vessel clear, keep our channels clean, and not drink the tap water. Get a water filter that filters out fluoride. I do have a link, and it's a water filter system company that Dr. Berg recommended. So take advantage of that and filter your water, because the fluoride in the water that's in the tap water, in the US anyway, will clog your pineal gland. And the pineal gland is where DMT is released, and the DMT is what allows us to connect to unseen energies and be able to make discernments and be able to trust our instincts and our intuition. So the more we do that, the more we don't have to rely on external information. We'll just know. We can smell the bullshit, basically. And so Mercury's going to be squaring Neptune. So, that's, squares are typically, a point of tension, and it can be very uncomfortable. It can cause, like confusion and frustration, but if we're really paying attention and taking the time to, like, step back and reflect on, like, why is this happening? Like, not to me, but like, why is this happening for me? Then we can really, take advantage of the universe's messages and let let those messages guide us. And so, yeah, Mercury is going to be squaring Neptune. Mercury will be trining the North Node again, because it's going to be going backwards into Sagittarius, a fire sign. By that time, it'll probably be in a wider trine, but nonetheless, it's going to be in that range. So Mercury, before it goes back into Sagittarius, is going to meet up with the Sun as the Sun enters Capricorn at 0 degrees. And so that is significant as well. When Mercury and the Sun come together within a certain degree, like within 7 minutes or something like that, like 0 degrees and 7 minutes of each other, they are called what's considered to be Kazemi, or in the heart of the Sun. And so we're getting messages from the heart of the Sun, from, like, the Sun is considered to be, in some religions, like God or the Father, and it's like all reigns supreme. And so we're getting messages, Mercury is receiving messages from the heart of the Sun in Capricorn. So that is going to be significant as it, like, moves backwards back into Sagittarius. And then when it comes back to that 0 degree point again, the Sun will be coming to a conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn. So, I mean, not to get too far ahead, but this new moon, we'll like dial it back to the new moon. The new moon in Sagittarius is a good time to really use the imagination, especially with Neptune and Pisces. Use the imagination to envision what you want in the world. And the other thing about the new moon is having that blind faith, that blind optimism, is also using those positive affirmations to really create what we want to see in the world. So, you've seen that quote, like, watch your thoughts, they become your words, watch your words, they become your actions, watch your actions, they become your destiny. I might have skipped something, but you get the point. Like, you have to really be cognizant of the vibe that you're putting out, more or less. Like, positive thoughts create positive actions, create positive manifestations. And so it's really important to know what you're consuming, like visually, food wise, what you're listening to, even the music that you listen to. I mean, I've stopped listening to music with words for some time now, just being able to, like, right now I have Lakota flute whistling, and even Andre 3000 came out with a new album that's, him playing the flute. That says a lot. So, I mean, I think that says a lot about the music industry too, is we're not really, or some of us are not really buying what they're throwing down, like all the elites or whatever, using young talent to push their agenda, and using these, like, subliminal messages or messaging or visuals to control. So that's a whole nother topic, but yeah, using songs without lyrics, it has been a way for me to really be cognizant of what I'm absorbing audially, if that's a word, visually, audially. Being mindful of what you're taking in, because what we take in is what we manifest out, what we project out into the world. And we all have our roles to play. Like, some people are at certain levels where they feel in their heart they need to share information or take in news and disseminate it through whatever modality that they feel called to. and people resonate with different energies, and so there is no judgment. Like, everybody's ready when they're ready, and it's just important, like, that we understand that, like, the best thing that we can do is control what's within our power. And Pam Gregory is great at articulating this, and she brings on some amazing people that are really showing us how it's done, like using all kinds of methods to blow our minds, really, and help us realize that there's more to life than what we've been fed and what we've been programmed to believe. Yeah, so this new moon is happening at 20 degrees, and the moon goes into Capricorn the next day, I think around 7 a.m. So between 3:30 Tuesday afternoon Pacific Standard Time to Wednesday morning is a great time to really, like, meditate, write down your intentions, like, visualize what kind of new horizons you want to broaden, and trust that whatever comes to mind, whatever comes to heart, is worth taking a risk at. So I hope all that made sense. Thanks for sticking around, and thank you for listening, and enjoy the energies. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you are interested in a reading and how this is going to affect you. If you have any placements around 20, 21, like 19, 20, 21, 22 degrees of any of the fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, then this will definitely affect you. And the energies are not something to, like, anticipate and be like, okay, what's going to happen at 3:31. It's something that you kind of, someone called it the cosmic kitchen, where you, like, put out your intentions and trust that the order is going to be taken care of. You don't, like, go back into the kitchen and, like, ask the chef, is it ready yet? How's it going? Don't burn my food, just trust that it's going to happen. So once the order is put in, once your intentions are made, we can, just stay in our integrity and trust that the universe will deliver. That's kind of how it's been working so far. And of course, we'll be put through some tests. Like, right now, I mentioned this in my last video, that it's kind of like a test of restraint, especially with all the Jupiter aspects really kind of exasperating a lot of the energies and inflating our desires. And it's, with the test of restraint, it's really asking us to keep everything in balance. Like, that's basically what life is all about, is like this balance of, what's, and as long as we stay in integrity, then I think balance is easier to achieve. And easier said than done. Like, we always have societal pressures, and like the courage, the North Node in Aries is really asking us to muster up the courage to make those hard decisions and have those hard conversations. But with Mercury and Trine to Jupiter, like, these are, Mercury retrograde, these are energies that are supporting us and helping us do those things. So keep the faith. That's totally Sagittarius. And trust. And everything should be okay. All right. Thank you again for listening. that's so Jupiter, you know, tendency to kind of go overboard. But yeah, I will see you on the next one. All right, take care. Thanks.